Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson, broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Said those words a lot of times. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. But this is a good video. It's one I'm very proud to make. So let me show you some live statistics from GovTools and allow me to be one of the first to congratulate the entire Cardano ecosystem for DREP ratification threshold for the Constitution. The Cardano Constitution replaced the interim Constitution. 85% to 6.62%. Only 7.68% did not vote. And the Constitutional Committee threshold, 67% was the threshold. It's unanimous. All 7 Constitutional Committee members voted. This means today it'll get locked in at the Epic Change. Takes about 2 days to tally. And when that vote goes through, as of probably Thursday, I believe, we will have a constitution for Cardano. A lot of the abstentions are people delegating through exchanges. They want to get the rewards, but they don't participate in governance. Exchanges hold the majority of ADA right now. How about that? We did it. 2 years' time. It was a remarkable journey. It took a long, long time, a lot of effort. A lot of people were involved. More than 65 workshops, 1,800 people, a constitutional convention, enormous amounts of debates, a lot of uncertainty. At times, many people wanted to give up and say, oh, I don't think we can get this done. But we did. And we brought people together across the world. 50 countries got brought together to talk about and create a foundation for Cardano to sit upon. It's not perfect. And already many people have some rough edges and umbrages. But the point is, it'll run and it will give us invaluable data. And some things we'll love and some things we'll hate. And what we proved is, as a completely decentralized organism across the world, we were able to come together 85%. And the Constitutional Committee came together and they voted to create this, to embed this in the chain. It's a constitution by and for the users of Cardano. Because we've done this, we've now created a proof point for the rest of time that we can do it again. So as we collect all those grievances, as we collect all those issues, as we collect all those things we'd like to improve or add or change over time, we now can update this constitution, which means that Cardano is a living organism. It's a living ecosystem, a vibrant one. Over 800 DREPs, Constitutional Committee members, 108,000 delegators participating in governance directly, delegating to DREPs, and that number is going up dramatically. Institutions like Intersect and a ton of people building on it. And it's unstoppable. We're fully decentralized. There's no centralized point of failure in Cardano. Like Bitcoin, the only other one that's truly like this, Cardano is fully decentralized now. There's still some gravity wells of power, but there's checks and balances, and over time those diminish. So it's a moment for every single person who said it that they would commit to it, work on it, and get it done. I'm proud of all of you. And while this final document didn't necessarily reflect everything that you wanted, it's a monumental achievement in social physics. People came together, they worked together, people spoke different languages from different places, and they agreed to something at a very high threshold. 75% was the threshold that was set. Imagine the level of consensus you have to get 75% approval. I can't remember the last US president that had a sustained 75% approval rating throughout their term. When's the last time we changed the US Constitution? I believe it was the early 90s, to give you a sense of it. I don't think in this political environment we'd ever be able to get another constitutional amendment through at the federal level. But we did it here, and we did it across the world with people all around who came to know each other through the process. and that's it's a pretty special day. It's a pretty special thing. So we have some more things ahead of us. We have to get the product roadmap ratified. We have to get the budget ratified. The interim constitutional committee members will now be replaced. So elections will be held second half of the year, and the terms expire in September. So just give a little kick in the butt. Got to get all those roles with elected people, and that means that Cardano is basically a government, a living thing. It has a treasury, 1.5 billion ADA. You're already talking about tax cuts, so I know you're real government. And we're talking about strategy, and everybody has ideas of what to do, where to go, and who to elevate and bring up. I couldn't be prouder. 10 years ago, I thought about all this on a whiteboard, and I was talking to some people in Japan, and we said, this is what we're going to do. This whole thing. It's going to be amazing and extraordinary and special. And everybody thought I was nuts and crazy. They're like, "You're gonna create an on-chain government, and people have never met each other all around the world are just gonna go work, many of which are volunteers and care about things and vote on things and talk about things." And I said, "Yes, they shall do that. They will do that. It's just something that's gonna be natural and happen." And they said, "Nah, no way, no how." But they were crazy enough to go on the journey with me, and 10 years later, we're here. We did it. And a little bit of help and a little bit of pushing from here and there. But more importantly, you did it. You guys got it done. This is the direct result of so many people not only taking the process seriously, but making the process their own. What you'll see is that many of the people who voted yes and no also included their reasons for voting yes or no. And I encourage anybody who's delegating to read them. They took the time to actually write their thoughts down and be accountable, not a Fox News or MSNBC soundbite where they give you 30 seconds of whatever the party line is regurgitated. No, this is a well written opinion of why they felt a yes or why they felt a no, or in some cases, abstain. Some made videos, some wrote it, some tweeted. Didn't matter. They found a way to at least communicate with you and let you know where they're at and what they did. And we as an ecosystem, if that's the standard, every month we get better. Every quarter we get better. The government gets bigger and more accountable. It gets more capable. It makes better decisions overall. You see, the thing is that as we have this foundation, there's a lot of people already thinking about what the next version needs to look like. It's very much like software. And they say, well, maybe we add quadratic voting. Maybe we add preference orders. Maybe we find more diverse ways to include people inside the ecosystem so more people participate. They're already talking about compensation. Who gets paid? If so, when, how? If not, why? These types of things. And we're tracking everything. You can see the level of participation amongst the people elected. Are they showing up and regularly voting? Are they voting well? Are they giving you answers to why they do what they do? It's pretty exciting. And that's what the vision was. People often ask, what's Cardano's core USP? And certainly there are blockchains with a higher TPS rate. And certainly there are blockchains with higher market cap. And you can always pick some vanity metric and say, well, that looks better. Well, the core USP of Cardano really is the fact that everybody who holds it has a say in it. Sometimes small, sometimes big, but you have a say. This is just not the case with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or all these other ecosystems. They never took the time to believe that you were worth something. They never took the time to actually ask you your opinion. They never took the time to empower you. Instead, they said, the only thing that matters is the code. Code is law. All humans are bad. Can't trust them for anything. What we did is we said, let's take the best of both worlds. There are algorithms and they matter and they enforce deep principles and they prevent the system from being misused. This is the lesson of Satoshi. Humans in the long run cannot be unilaterally trusted. But on the other hand, we're tremendously creative and capable people. And we have, if engaged in the right way, the ability to build a heaven. And when you constrain people through constitutional law and now algorithmic governance, you can bring out the best in people. You can hold people accountable. You can make sure that people don't become corrupt. And thus, you get all the good things that they do. You get the goodwill, you get the empathy, you get the emotions, you get the desire to be creative, the love of aesthetics. You get all those things, the poetry of the soul. And that is what is missing from all these other mechanical systems, the humanity of them. We spent 2 years, a lot of work, trying to chase that poetry of the soul. And you know what? We proved today, unambiguously, that not only do we possess it, that we want more of it. The coming months are going to be a lot of fun. The coming years are going to be a lot of fun. We got Bitcoin DeFi, we got Laos, we got Midgard, got partner chains. Cardano's becoming one of the largest AVS systems in the world. All kinds of stuff that's coming down the pipe that will foundationally increase our competitiveness and make it easier to deploy dApps better, faster, cheaper. And I don't worry about these things because that's just technology. And we've proven beyond a reasonable doubt we're good at that too. 168 scientists, 240 academic papers, 10,000 citations, millions of lines of code, dozens of development companies, now 4 full nodes under construction. We're diversified and we know how to write code. That's good. But really, what truly matters is that we also have the largest governance layer now, which means we're the smartest cryptocurrency ecosystem. We can crowdsource any idea, any strategy, and augment it with AI. My lord, we are unstoppable as an ecosystem. And not only can we crowdsource it, we can also converge to a single common understanding. See, the dirty secret of decentralization is the more decentralized you become, the more difficult it is to actually make a decision about how to change something. So while you can preserve the status quo, it's almost impossible to actually update the status quo to something better, even when everybody acknowledges that that's a good idea. We call this the great ossified middle of the internet. Core protocols of the internet were developed in the 1970s as a DARPA program by Vince Cerf and Bob Kahn, amongst others, including some people that work for us. But yet you ask yourself, how often do we update those core protocols and add new and sexy, exciting things like Quick or Rena? And guess what? The answer is seldom, because it takes so much coordination effort to be able to update and modernize that infrastructure. And thus we suffer from the consequences of it and have to have a dirty patchwork of half measures and solutions in the browser and routers and other things to try to make the internet semi reasonable as an organism. And the same is happening to other cryptocurrencies. The larger they get, the more distant they get from their founders, the harder it is for them to find the social momentum to reach consensus on how to upgrade the system. Thus, to be competitive, what people tend to do is try to centralize the cryptocurrency. And then I have to ask, how is the cryptocurrency then any different from the very banks we've been trying to escape? How is the cryptocurrency any different from the large monopolistic oligarchies in the tech world that we've been trying to escape from, and the totalitarian governments that love to know everything about their people and hold it against them? They aren't. The expectations of centralization are that you get something in the short term, but trade your soul in the long term. And we see this again and again in our industry. And so, in the long term, the only option is decentralization. And the true innovation of Cardano is decentralization with the ability to move as fast as a centralized entity. No one has ever achieved that in the cryptocurrency space. And today we proved we can. Everything else is a formality. We will win. It's inevitable. There's no founder. There's no foundation to crack and fall apart. There's no scandal that can undo Cardano. We have all the benefits of a Satoshi system, but none of the downsides. We have the brains. We have the largest decentralized brain in the world. By wiring all the universities together as our competitors mocked us for white papers and research, what they failed to realize was we were putting together a collective intelligence that is self renewing. Tell me how a university gets its brains. The young go there and they study and contribute, and then they move on. And more young go there and study and contribute, and then they move on. And by wiring in and creating permanent institutions in these institutions, it means that we always have the youngest and brightest working on our problems. And as we grow, eventually we'll have more youngest and brightest working on our problems than every other project combined. So we'll always have a technological advantage. And by having a true decentralized governance system that speaks with one voice, we can move in a systematic, deliberate, and efficient way towards executing that brilliance. Took a little while to figure out. No one had ever done it before. It was absolutely insane to enter into a move fast and break things environment and say we were going to follow the rigor of peer review and formal methods. But not only did we achieve it, we achieved it at a scale that's never been done in human history. From Tokyo Tech to Stanford and everywhere in between, the sun never set on the principles of this project. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud that in 7 years' time since we launched, soon to be 8, we never once deviated from those core principles. Hundreds of millions of transactions and blocks. The network's never gone down. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, we've been operating. And that is something worth something. It tells the entire world there's true value in what we've done. And now we've inculcated an entire generation of leaders to carry those torches, to carry those flags, and push us forward to illuminate the way. And they'll inculcate an even larger next generation and an even more capable one. And while there are many challenges ahead, we have to continue investing in the technology of decentralization, and we have to be ever vigilant of threats to the network, and we have to continue innovating. We all get to celebrate today. This is a good day. We played a different game than everybody else in the cryptocurrency space. And not only did we win this game, when they come to play it against us, our advantage and lead is so significant, they can never catch us. So after 10 years of working on this, thank you all for being part of it. Thank you all for contributing to this moment and to this day. Cardano has a constitution. Cardano has a government. Every ADA holder now has a voice. And because of that, Cardano is the global standard. Thank you all. Cheers.